Over here, dearie. Ah, there you are. It's rather rude of you to keep a lady waiting. I'll forgive you, though. It gave me a chance to dip into my notes about the Circle of Archmagi. One does not simply waltz into an Archmage's domain unprepared. Tell me, dearie, how much do you know about Ringrim? Oh, lovely. Then you know what we're up against. Oh, her spells are legendary. The Circle of Archmagi are the most powerful magical beings in Aora. Whatever the reason, the fact that she's here at all is significant. Oh, Andra's titties. The Circle sent the Archmage of Terror. Oh, she's just brilliant. Well, Nakukubel is the largest of the godless ruins. It's still got its share of secrets. There must be something in there of interest to Ringrim. Probably something powerful. I knew I liked you, darling. I'll be with you every step of the way. Those Steel Garrote bastards stole all my research about the godless. They'll get to the garden first over their dead bodies. I can show you the way to Ringrim's domain, but we should travel lean. The less of us there are, the less likely she'll take notice. You'll need me to get you in the door, so who's staying behind?
Naturally. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Really, though, that would be dangerous. We'll catch up later, Yatsli. Take care of the envoy for me.
Perfect! Oh, this is going to be fun.
Don't forget your friend Daiko and his completely legal package that he said you pick up.
What? Can't you see I'm busy? God, yes, I know that. She's been hounding me about it for a week now. I've had my hands full with other shipments. Cynthia's not the only client I have to answer to. I know, but with Paradise under lockdown and Fior with a grain shortage, it's a miracle I can deliver anything on time. Cynthia's always been a good customer. Tell her I'll have her shipment over to her by sundown.
Godlike! Over here. Godlike! Winds above! You're really here! I knew I had to find you as soon as I heard you were in Thirdborn.
Chico? When did you get so tall? I almost didn't recognize you.
Kai! You're here too? Now I know Thirdborn is in good hands. We've gotta do something about the Dream Scourge. It's worse every day. One of our neighbors wasn't himself, and we can't afford to lose anyone. We need people who will fight back. People like Kai, and my uncle Capo.
Me? You don't know what you're saying. Believe me. But Capo, he's the real deal. That old salt's a monster slayer.
That Leviathan hanging over the market? That was his work. Of course he did! I still hear people reminisce about him dragging it back to the shore. But, well, Thirdborn hasn't seen the Capo I know in a long time. I've tried everything to convince him to get out of the house. He may be old now, but we can still use his experience. If Thirdborn could see him up on those walls, they'd all follow him. I hate to impose, but would you pay him a visit? He lives on the northeast side of town. He's tired of hearing from me. Maybe one hero to another, you know?
Love, look, it's her.
Oh, Envoy, over here. Envoy, it's so good to see you alive and well. Peaceful. Like when we first made our way to Paradise so many years ago. We've settled in nicely and are starting to feel at home here.
Peaceful's an interesting word to use, love. The Dream Thralls are exceedingly aggressive out here.
Yes, well, the guards have been handling them just fine. I'll take it for now. How about you, Envoy? How have the Living Lands been treating you? Fair enough. The land here is unforgiving.
But we might have something to help with that. Right, love?
Whoever lived here last must have left this armor behind. As beautiful as it is, Gladwine and I have no need of it. We'd like for you to have it.
May it keep you safe in the face of danger.
Be safe out there, friend. Safe travels, Envoy. It was lovely to see you again.
Don't tell me you're out of linen. We need to make bandages.
I don't know what you expect me to do. I can't just make more linen out of thin air.
What am I supposed to do? Do you want everyone to bleed out?
Does it even matter? There are always more injured and dying than there are supplies. It's hopeless.
There's gotta be a better way to fight dream throws.
Don't see Addie or hurting over it. They're out in Eagle's Reach like it's a training exercise. Well, if it's a training exercise they're running, surely they won't care if some supplies.
Don't forget your friend Daiko and his whole package that you said you'd pick up.
Fish! Get your fish!
Are they? Did you?
Are they dead? It had to be done.
It can make you stronger, but you never have to like it. Don't forget that.
Let's go, Nameho. We need to be with them now.
If Shatterscarp is like this now, well, we should get going too.
Gods, they really burned down Esther's house.
I must have done 100 shifts on those watchtowers. Never saw so much Thirdborn blood under them.
Yatsley, when all of this is behind us, are you going back to Fiume Severnal?
It's hard to imagine leaving forever, especially with Quilici still there. What about you? Vidaro's reversed your exile. You could return.
I haven't decided yet. On the one hand, it's tempting.
On the other, nothing's really changed. And you'd still have the same problems waiting for you there.
Exactly. You understand.
You're a brilliant woman, Giada. Whatever you decide, he'll be right.
You're too kind to me, Yatsley. I don't deserve you.
For all you put up. With from me, I'm sure I could be kinder. But I'm always happy to help.
Listening to Yatsley's thoughts about godless ruins is one thing. Bringing her along for the rest of the trip is something else. I don't know, she's alright, okay? But how would she know how to get to the garden? If she's read anything about the garden, it was written centuries ago. Obviously, things have changed since then. Bothered? Pedraku. It's my job to guide you as safely as possible. What you're doing isn't safe. I'll go along with whatever you decide. Just don't be disappointed when she doesn't show you what you wanted to see. Anyway. I think you know. What do you... Right. The only one we haven't talked about is Yatsley. I don't trust her any further than I could throw her, which honestly isn't that far. She actually goes down into these ruins on purpose, just to see what's down there, I guess? And now she's trying to lead us to the garden. Might as well be searching for WoW's wacky wagon of mysteries. Nah, I'm sure she knows what she's doing, but what if she doesn't? Until next time. I suppose if you're on a wild goose chase, there are worse places to do it. I thought I'd give it a try, see how it feels. Yatsley's got you going in all sorts of abandoned ruins. Who knows what's down there? More questions, most likely. And spiders. No, why would I be? I just want to make sure we've covered all the options before we dive headfirst into another deadly ruin. No idea. I just wish I trusted Yatsley's research. Seems like a lot of danger for not much payout. I'm sure we'll be fine. I just hope this is all worth it. Anyway. Not before I've done some reading.
You've been to Thirdborn before, right?
1,000 times. Why?
Have you ever eaten at the Dead Swordfish?
Once.
Oh, it's terrible, right? Temerity keeps raving about it, but I think there's just nothing else in town.
You're talking about the ragfish stew, right? That stuff would peel the... bark off a tree.
Oh, that's delicious.
The last time I had it, I was bedridden for days. I don't know how they eat there every day.
I had a buttermilk biscuit there once. Spent the next week in the privy.
You just gotta soldier through it a few times. Builds character and a strong stomach.
Despite everything that's happened, I'm so grateful to be working with Yatsley. In many ways, Quilici has been like a second father to me. But Yatsley, she's like my dirty aunt who's up to no good. Well, she's an expert in that field. While I have your attention, I've been thinking. Why is Inquisitor Ludwig suddenly interested in godless ruins? She's a smart one. I'll give her that. We should be ready for anything. Something tells me Ludwig isn't finished with us yet. Go on then. What are you so curious? Anyone in particular? Of course. She's brilliant. Open to anything. And sees the world as she wants it to be. Yatsley gave me my first glass of wine. And the courage to approach a special someone. We have a lot of catching up to do. Indeed, old friends. When they died, Yatsley protected me. Made sure I had one consistent person in my life. I think that's why she gave me that glass of wine. Why she encouraged me to live my life to the fullest. She was making sure I hit all the milestones I could have missed. No one to get jealous over. To call it a relationship would be an insult to the word. But it was fun while it lasted. Animancy is the study of life. Unfortunately, we get so busy that we forget to live. So a little roll in the hay is good for the soul. Yatsley taught me that. Well, not the part about rolling in the hay. That was my idea, and I don't recommend it. Now that she's traveling with us, Maybe she can teach you a thing or two. I think that covers everyone. And if my good opinion changes, you'll be the first to hear about it. You know. You too.
Thirdborn. If it weren't for the Leviathan skeleton in the middle of town, I'd hardly recognize the place. Well, that's what I'm trying to nail down. You ever come back to a place and feel like the buildings are smaller and the colors are duller? And home just wasn't the same. Thirdborn was always this rugged oasis, dangerous and out of the way, but bursting with vitality. It was a harbor for larger-than-life types. People like Capo, the Leviathan Slayer, and Tama. Glory seekers, trophy hunters, warriors trying to leave their battles behind. People who built around their stories and their scars. All that vigor's been wrung dry. Being back, it felt like we were watching Thirdborn die a slow death. Yeah, but I thought age was supposed to bring wisdom. Something to balance out the back pains and creaky knees. I think what's eating at me is that Thirdborn seems rudderless. The Dream Scourge is one threat. Conflict with Adir is another. The Living Lands is changing, and Thirdborn feels like a barnacle on a moving ship. Temeriti's leading them as best she can, but towards what? What are we doing out here besides surviving? For a while, I suppose. Eventually, you need more. What about you? You were sent by your Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge. Since then, you've died, met a secret god, and gotten swept up in tensions between your empire and our scattered settlements. Between releasing Egwolf and thwarting the Steel Garrote and Emerald Stair, you've opposed your empire's interests. Do you know what you're sailing towards, or are you drifting with the tides? That kind of clarity is rare. Thanks for talking. I hope Thirdborn is able to find its way somehow. I've got a lot of memories here. And the longer I stayed away, the harder it felt to come back. Until you came along, I thought I'd be able to avoid it forever. Thirdborn's missing a lot of familiar faces. And the youngsters who've grown up and the new arrivals, they seem green. Like they're cut from a different cloth, a more delicate one. I really do sound like my grandfather.
You smell like him, too.
How about you borrow Yatsley's ladder so you can say that to my face? Thirdborns only survived because the people were tougher than the wilds. I just hope the people living behind those walls know how to keep them standing. Ask away. You're asking me? Okay, who do you want? You know, just when I was thinking our little group was getting too solemn and serious, we met her. Sometimes I think she lives in her ruins and grimoires rather than in the real world with the rest of us. But she keeps things interesting and keeps us on our toes. What's more, she's a good friend to Giada. And Giada's a good influence on her. Yeah, and both of those subjects fly way over my head. I prefer dealing with things I can see and make sense of. I just hope she keeps some part of herself grounded with the rest of us. She's brilliant, but I worry that the real-world consequences of the forces she plays with are academic to her. Maybe I shouldn't. Sure. My favorite sub... You know where to find me.
For the camp of an official Adir and envoy, I was expecting a little more. A proper bed, at least. But I suppose this will do for now. As long as you have a bath, of course. I always ask nicely. But as riveting as it is to complain about our accommodations, I imagine you have another topic in mind? Well, because I'm the foremost expert on the godless, of course. So I must study their artifacts when I can. Unfortunately, it's been quite some time since I've met another who focused on the godless as I do. And I imagine I'd be more knowledgeable on the subject than anyone else you could find. Technically, yes. Well, it set me on the path, at least. When I got my first grimoire as a child, I was trying out some of the fancy new spells I'd been given. I was attempting a simple illusion spell, but I must have slurred my words. The next thing I know, everything was on fire. That was my assumption as well. Barrett's balls. It's nice to know I won't have to dumb things down with you. What is childhood but for silly things? When else can you get away with arson? My father was able to pull me from the flames as my mother doused them. I burned myself badly enough to give myself some vivid dreams, but the house still stood at the end. Just the usual things. Not studying for an exam, having all your teeth fall out. They're not nearly as enjoyable as my more provocative dreams. Oh. Well, just be sure to have a quick release knot if you ever make that fantasy reality. Someone should learn from my mistakes. I certainly have no intention to.
Goodness, we're feeling very honest today, aren't we?
As delightful as you are, we've much to do and less time to do it in. Shall we go? Oh, Envoy, might I steal a moment of your time? We need to discuss what happened in Emerald Stair, don't you think? Look, I lost more research than I'd like to count. But Fiora and its people are safe. That's what matters. Thank you, Envoy. I don't know how you managed it, but whatever you did, you averted disaster. That being said, your ambassador is going to get an earful, and possibly a fistful, next time we're in Paradise. That's what happens when you're the breadbasket of the living lands. Sometimes things get stale. At least we were able to get everyone to safety. Though with everything happening in Thirdborn, safe might be relative. At least I know Temerity will keep an eye on them. I think she knows what'll happen if she doesn't. Long enough that I trust her to do her best by everyone. You see, Emerald Stair has Naku Tedek. For a young and aspiring godless scholar, it was a godsend, if you'll forgive the pun. And, as a young at heart godless scholar, I've traveled outside the stair to other ruins. That's how I met Temerity. Thirdborn's close to Naku Kubel. A girl's gotta eat sometime. Who says I did? I still go out often. I've catalogued many ruins, but there are always more. And coming home to a warm welcome is lovely. You should try it sometime, darling. Oh, part of it is my sparkling personality, of course. But a larger part of it is time. It's hard to hate someone when they drop by your lab with lunch after you've forgotten to eat again. It's so much easier to do when you're younger. Now I enjoy eating and watching Quilici cook far too much. My mother always said that the way to a man's heart was through his stomach. Quilici and I got together the old-fashioned way, though. I saw a beautiful man across a smoky tavern. Then I dazzled him with my delightful personality. Then he showed me an abandoned ruin outside of town, and I was hooked. Oh, it's not a fairy tale, darling. We've been happy for the most part. Any rough patches got smoothed over well enough. I only thought about killing him once or twice. He's probably thought the same a bit more. It's hard to believe that things have changed so much recently. Any sense of safety just went poof. It makes you wonder how everything will turn out. Me? Well, I suppose that's an option. I'd need help, of course, but I'd at least ask for it. Huh. I'll think on it. Maybe it'd be a nice retirement plan for Quilici and me.
Governor Yatsley. I like the sound of that.
Thank you, Envoy. I feel a little less frazzled. I've got a lot to think on. Talk to you soon? Try not to have too much fun without me. How can I help? Careful what you wish for, darling. So, the Godless, or the Akita, as they called themselves, were the original folks who lived in the Living Lands. They arrived on the shores of a new land and settled there, living with the land instead of trying to tame it. You sound certain. Well, that would align with my own finding. But how could you know that? Oh, well, you should definitely trust that. But dubious metaphysics notwithstanding, you corroborate my theory. The Godless are so singular. Their art and architecture, you never see it in Rawatai or Ishamatal or, well, Adir. But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing, seeking refuge, so they must have come from somewhere. My guess, they originally came from Yesua. Yesua, a continent, cut off from the rest of the world, hidden by eternal storms, one of the 3 hubs of the Angwithan Empire. 10 years ago, you could say it wasn't real, that it was a dream, but they said the same of Ukaiso. Suddenly, the appearance of a mythical land doesn't seem so implausible. There was some kind of schism, an ideological one. From what I can glean, the Godless were staunchly against the gods, hence their name. There are even some not-so-kind murals of the gods. It seems like the Godless really took their anti-theism seriously. I know! Well, I think we've covered everything, don't you? Rather, as much as I think you'll withstand. Hope you enjoyed talking about this as much as I did, dearie. How can I help? Careful. So, they... But... Well, hope you... These sudden changes in climate always mess with my coiffure. Does Adir have good fur maintenance products? Do you have a contact for that? Now, imagine that every inch of you is frizzing up. Truly, just a good long brushing through all my fur alone would do wonders. I've got some time before we see Quilici again, at least. It'll give me time to find something to remind him of what he's missing. You're a dear for offering, but no. Let's give him a chance to miss me first. It'll just make our reunion all the sweeter. Quilici and I got used to the stairs early on. Thankfully, at least in Fjord, those stopped eventually. After 30 years, it's hard to still be surprised by us just drinking at the Magpie. Oh, she was still young. Quilici offered to help her study for and prepare her thesis as a favor to her parents. She was over day and night for months, and, well, now she's family. We adore her. All things considered, it's hard to complain about my life in Fjord. Oh, obviously. The static from all the animancy can ruin my best hair day. As much as I enjoy our little chats, dearie, we should really get going. Oh, but if you do end up finding any liniments, be sure to help a girl out. You know, Envoy, we've traveled enough that I think I've gotten a handle on your style. Style of fighting, I mean. Your fashion sense is more opaque. But listening to your incantations, they could use some tightening up. I could probably teach you a thing or two, if you're up for it. What do you say? Of course, darling. Easy as pie. What? Out of breath already? Talk to one of the boys. See if they can help with your stamina, dear. Well, I've taught you all I can. Let's hope you put it to good use.
Yardsley, why did I wake up? Wake up to smell perfume in my bedroll this morning?
Don't tease, darling. We both know why.
No one else has complained about my smell.
I was attempting a more subtle approach.
Spraying strong perfume on my stuff isn't subtle.
Oh, is it too strong? I'll try another batch. Perhaps that'll be more to your liking.
Right, that won't be necessary.
Oh, trust me, it's necessary. We really must stop meeting like this. People will talk. Well, I suppose you've earned that much. And I do enjoy rewarding tenacity. Though between your dreams and mine, it's a wonder anyone gets any sleep around here. You remember that I nearly burned my family home down when I was young? It was an accident, and I paid for it. My parents refused to buy me more spellbooks for years. Well, shortly after all that fuss, the dream began. It started at first with a fire, just flames crackling, and a feeling of safety. I thought it was a little weird, but nice. But then the dream kept coming back, night after night. I learned more every time. I saw that it was a fire in a hearth, and that hearth was in an old library. I assumed it was a library, at least, to explain why there were so many tablets lining the walls. A woman after my own heart. In the library, there's just one person, but they're wearing a hood, so I never see their face. They do the same thing every night. They curl up in a chair by the fire, hold a tablet to their chest, and then the fear comes. The paralyzing, all-encompassing fear of something. Just the noise. A low, deep banging starts, and it rattles through your bones and shakes you to your core. And it replaces the beat of your heart with this droning on and on and on until you forget every other sound you've ever heard.
A beat. Steel feet on the shore. They come by night.
And then, as it just gets louder and louder, and right before it gets there, I wake up.
You've been listening to too many of Giada's ghost stories.
And let me tell you, waking up in a cold sweat does nothing for my fur. How sibilant. No. Just that it's all-encompassing. It's strange. I've not told many of the details of my dream. I suppose I must like you quite a bit, Envoy. Don't let it inflate your ego too much. I suppose we should try and get some rest now. I'll have some tea ready for when we awaken later. We've been traveling together for a little while. I just have to know. Did you purposefully choose such colorful company, or is that just what you attract naturally? I mean, I'm very clearly a delight, so it's obvious why you let me stick around. I'd seen Kai around once or twice, and always thought he was charming enough. He's got a sharp tongue, though. Makes me like him even more. And Marius. I don't know what's lurking in him, but I do think he should speak to someone on it. If he reaches out, do try, will you? As for Giada, well, clearly Giada is a gem. As for me, well, I'm just as riveting as you, but the boys are giving me a run for my money. Someone needs to keep our wit razor sharp, so I think we should keep him a while longer. You do strike me as a people person. Tell me, do you get along with all you meet? So, you'll be swarmed by well-wishers then, upon arriving home? And here I thought I had a wild youth exploring ruins. You might be putting me to shame, dearie. Why do you think Wilichi and I went to Naku Tedek in the first place? Of course, other lovers were less willing. Something about them being gross and terrifying. I just think it adds to the excitement. Well, you've satisfied my curiosity. I'll leave you alone to do whatever envoys do. Don't mind if I do.
Seeds of change. Their petals sprout across the barren land. They sing to the unwanted ones, and the unwanted ones sprout in turn. The soil remembers what it once was. It will soon be whole, safe. The soil does not want these cities. It yearns for silence, for the kestrel song. But first, the sprouted ones will grow. They will bring the stillness and the birdsong. The air was not meant for voices. The soil was not meant to carry buildings. We want all of them gone. We wish for life to flourish again. A cage like ours, the gadflies bite. Death nourishes the soil. All things come from the rot. Then we will dream of sand and song alone.
How do you feel about poetry?
Poetry? Why the hell are you asking me about poetry?
Do you like it? Oh, come on, you can tell me. Say a few lines of poetry.
Wait. Do you think I have the dream scourge?
No, I don't. But I wanted to be sure, okay? They said that's the first sign.
I thought having fungus grow out of your head was the first sign.
It can be both.
Envoy? You get around, don't you? Funny seeing you here. Makes Paradise look kinda nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you need something, get over here and talk to me.
Oh, let me guess. My Nikai sent you. That kid's been muttering about sending some new hero by.
Old man Capo. Glad to see you're still kicking around.
Kai, what rock have you been hiding under? Those scales are looking rougher since I last saw you.
Your eyesight finally going? But we didn't come here to talk about my handsome mug. That Nikai of yours still getting underfoot, I take it?
Ah, like a cannonball on a rolling deck, that kid. Damn child won't stop hovering over me. They keep trying to send so-called heroes over to cheer me up. there's not much point these days. Back when Thirdborn was no more than a husk on the cliffside, we had real heroes. I've slain 1,000 Zorops, wrestled rock beetles, even slew the Leviathan. Ah, let me tell you. I had but a few harpoons and a single boat that morning. It had taken days to track the creature. My food and water were running out. When I found it, the beast heaved itself up from the water and crashed down onto me. And there, I thrust a harpoon deep into its belly and killed it. Oh, it took days to tow its body back on the flotsam of my boat.
I love the story, even if the fish gets bigger every time.
Ah, well, those days are long past. I'm a sick old man now. Not much I can do in Thirdborn anymore. Still, maybe Chico was onto something when they sent you. You're the one who cleared the dream thralls at the gates, aren't you? Ah, good to know someone is looking out for Thirdborn at least. I tell you what. This old man would like to ask a boon of you. One hero to another. I promise it'll be worth your while. I want to see my heart one last time. Will you get it for me? A Leviathan heart is a rare thing. When left out in the air, it becomes as hard as Adra, and 100 times as valuable. And I had the only one in the living lands. I couldn't just leave it on my kitchen table now, could I? No, I kept it safe, hidden up in the godless ruin along the coast. But now, I'm dying. I can feel it in my bones. I don't have long, and I'd like to see my treasure one more time. Get it for me, and I'll see you get a reward. Beyond that, well, I left that old ruin with a few tricks for would-be thieves. Step carefully.
Huh. A trapped ruin that isn't from the Godless? It'll be interesting to compare.
Good luck, godlike.
It's only been 6 years, but I don't recognize half of these people. It's only been 6 years, but I don't...
What Bostanago came up with the name the Dead Swordfish for a tavern? How many do you think have fallen over the edge in Thirdborn? 200, 300? I once climbed that Leviathan skeleton, you know. I wasn't allowed back in town for a while after that.
Don't forget your friend Daiko and his completely legal package that you said you'd pick up.
Ah, isn't this a surprise?
Don't forget your friend Daiko and his complete legal package that you said you'd pick up.